Calling international rescue. Calling international rescue.
Thunderbirds are go. Go ahead, Alan.
Hey everyone, Serious Joe here. This is the second part of my Thunderbird Soundtech toy review, and I'm quite excited about this one, as we'll be taking a closer look at all the Thunderbird vehicles. Before I start, I'd like to just mention that I did receive these toys second hand, with the packaging already opened. Another thing to note is that I don't have the packaging for Thunderbird II or Fab 1, so I can't really review what they came in. But enough negativity, let's get on with the review.
Scott, it's action stations. Thunderbirds are go. FAB.
So, taking a look at all the Thunderbird vehicles in their packaging, you can see they're all displayed really nicely in a clear plastic window that allows you to see the toys from nearly all angles. A small hole near the bottom of Thunderbirds 1 and 3 and near the top of Thunderbird V allows you to activate the sounds while they're in their packaging. The surrounding artwork features the iconic Thunderbirds logo, as well as a big Try Me button on the left hand side. On the right you can see a picture of the pilot for that particular craft, and on the bottom tells you what Thunderbird it is, as well as the name of the pilot. Turning the packaging over, we can see the Thunderbirds logo again, with a short description on what the craft is, along with some of its features. Next to that is a small cutout and keep collector card with some more information about the different Thunderbirds. Moving further down, you can see the other vehicles within the Soundtech range, along with the battery replacement instructions and legal stuff. So that's it for the packaging. Let's take a look at the crafts themselves. So, starting things off with Thunderbird V. Thunderbird V is International Rescue's monitoring satellite space station, and is the first craft to know when someone needs help. This toy is very nicely sculpted, with the iconic shape and golden ring surrounding the main body. The detail is minimal, however some odd bits of texturing dotted around adds to the overall look, and really helps to capture Thunderbird V quite well. This toy was also supposed to come with a small black base decorated in stars, however mine didn't come with this, which is a bit unfortunate. Moving on to articulation, Thunderbird V can move its two top antennas, allowing for a full 360 degree swivel. Its back antenna can move 180 degrees, while its base can also move 360 degrees. Even though it's not a lot of movement, it adds to the playability, considering we never actually see Thunderbird V move as such in the show. The button for the sound is disguised as one of the small notches seen present on the top of the toy, and pushing it will activate one of 3 sound effects.
The missile's heading for New York. Father, 10 people are trapped. Time's running out, Father.
As you can hear, they're really nice and loud. And although I don't actually think it's the original voice actor, it's close enough, and really adds that little bit extra to the toy. Going forward with possibly one of the most iconic pink cars, it's of course Fab 1. Now this looks really nice. The front features that iconic Rolls-Royce grille with the number plate of Fab 1 featured below. Taking a closer look inside the window, we can actually see some basic detailing has been added to represent the interior seating and front driving part of the car. Finally, looking at the back, we can see the famous Fab 1 number plate, along with the back headlights. A couple of small silver notches are featured further up the car, along with the sound activation button.
Parker, we're going for a little ride. Alright, Jeff, FAB. Yes, m'lady.
The sound effects, I do believe, are the original voice actors. If not, they are a very close match. Regardless of that though, it's still a fantastic toy replica of Fab 1. Thunderbird III. This Thunderbird III toy is possibly one of the most accurate ones in the toy range to the on-screen counterpart. It features the iconic grey midsection with the 3 supporting struts connecting down to each thruster located at the base. These struts, for being so thin, are surprisingly quite strong and feel really sturdy when holding the toy from them. The Thunderbird wording seen present at the top is nicely printed, as well as all the various number 3s seen all around this toy. Moving on to features, this is the only one out of all the crafts not to have any articulation, although just like the rest it does feature sound effects.
Thunderbird III to base. International rescue, we're on our way. Gee, this is a tough one.
Now, the sounds are okay, but a little muffled. I don't know whether this is down to age or it originally sounded like that, but it can be quite hard to hear what is actually being said. But nevertheless, this is still a really good Thunderbird III toy. Thunderbird II. Now, Thunderbird II is personally my favourite craft out of all of them, and this toy certainly does not disappoint. Taking a closer look, we can see that it features quite a lot of small detailing, as well as some nice paint apps all around the sides, wings and back section of the toy. 2 red buttons are featured either side of the craft, while larger buttons are featured at the front and rear. Finally, quickly flipping it over, you can see that some of the paint apps have continued to the underside. These, yet minimal, are a nice bit of extra detailing that you wouldn't normally see when the craft is placed down. Moving on to features, Thunderbird II comes with the most out of all the toys. Pressing the 2 red buttons either side of the craft will cause the spring-loaded legs to swing out, allowing Thunderbird II to stand up. This is such a cool feature and allows the toy to be positioned in a variety of ways. Quickly looking at Thunderbird II's sound effects, these can be activated by pressing the red button at the front of the craft.
Thunderbird II to base. FAB, Scott. Let's get down there. Thunderbirds are go. Thunderbird II, understand your danger zone. FAB.
The red button present at the back of the toy releases the middle section, allowing for the pod to drop out. This also comes with its own play features, as the door can be flicked open to reveal one of 2 extra accessories, the Mole and Thunderbird IV. Just a quick side note, I am missing the official Thunderbird IV toy that should come with this, so I'm using the Matchbox toy as a stand-in. The Mole accessory is a solid plastic piece, which features very nice, but minimal detailing. The only criticism I have with this is that the red buttons are quite distracting. If they were disguised as part of the plastic or painted green to blend in, I think it would really help hide them a bit better, and it would make it feel less like a cheapy toy. Moving on to the final craft, and of course, it's Thunderbird I. This toy is instantly recognisable. Taking a closer look at it, you can see that the Thunderbird text, as well as the TB1 lettering on the sides of the craft, is very nicely printed, in addition to the big one seen present at the base. This base also features quite a lot of extra detailing in itself, with TB1 text printed all around, as well as the triangular fins. On the underside, we can also see several raised circles, which help represent Thunderbird I's thrusters. The texturing on the plastic is also the most detailed, with notches wrapping their way around the midsection, as well as some raised parts on the wings. Quickly looking at the back of the toy, you can see this detailing has continued all the way around, but unfortunately it's kind of overshadowed by the 4 big Phillips screws, which is a bit of a shame. The wings of this toy can actually swing out just like in the show, locking gently open into place. To close them is just as easy and doesn't require that much pressure for them to lock back down. This is a nice bit of extra playability, and it's nice to see once again an on-screen feature brought into toy form. Last but not least, let's take a look at the sounds, which can be activated by pressing the blue button near the base. Overall, the craft is actually not that bad. It's a really nice Thunderbird I toy, and the slight articulation with the wings really helps to bring the craft to life. So, now that we've taken a look at all the crafts in detail, what is my overall opinion? Well, they're actually really good toys. I think many of the little negatives I have are just purely from a collector's viewpoint. These toys were made for children, and just like I said with my Tracy Island review, as a child I loved this set growing up. The voice acting is again very off with a few of the vehicles, and in the case of Thunderbird III is a little hard to hear at times. But at least they try to add something to bring the crafts to life. Also, the fact that most of all of them, besides Thunderbird III, has little points of articulation really adds to that extra element of playability. The inclusion of the pod vehicles for Thunderbird II is also an added bonus, and it's nice that you have the option of what vehicle you want Thunderbird II to carry, rather than just Thunderbird IV. Looking at this set as a whole, including the island, you can see why it was so popular. Thunderbirds is such a cult classic, and to have a replica of the island to play with, along with all the rescue vehicles, allowed kids to make their own adventures with international rescue, and feel like a hero. Thank you everyone so much for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. And I'll see you all in the next video.
Thunderbirds are definitely go.